Is another wave of xenophobic attack against black Africans looming in South Africa? Are Nigerians truly the drug kingpins and cartel heads, as consistently alleged by many mainstream South African media and some South African citizens? The level of dehumanization and deprivation of African migrants in South Africa by many government agencies, social organizations, and some South African citizens is unimaginable and insane. It's heartbreaking. Perhaps it is time for other African leaders to start fixing their countries. They, their citizens, and other blacks around the world should begin to isolate South Africa and begin to give the same treatment given to black African nationals living in South Africa to South Africans living outside of South Africa. This is the truth, and my name is Olaniyi Abadedele. Many of you call me The Voice. The events that unfolded in the past few weeks in South Africa, where the KwaZulu-Natal Police Commissioner and Advocate Tefu made some serious allegations that drug cartels, organized crime syndicates, and high-level corruption in South Africa are being run by some top politicians, top members of the police establishment, and members of the judiciary. Don't get me wrong, I'm not holding brief for Nigerians, and it would be very unreasonable for me to try and deny the fact that some black African migrants and Nigerians are not involved in the drug trade. But they should be treated as criminals. It's very unfair for us as black migrants to be profiled based on what is done by those criminals. I want you to listen to what the police commissioner, General Lieutenant Nklankla, and Advocate Tefu said about drug cartels and criminality in South Africa.
And I can confirm before the South Africans today that the investigation which these members were involved with in Gauteng has unmasked the syndicate. And this syndicate involves, amongst others, politicians who are currently serving in Parliament. The law enforcement officers include the members of the South African Police Service, the Metro Police, and correctional services. They include prosecutors in Gauteng province, the judiciary, and all these are controlled by the drug cartel as well as business people in that province of Gauteng. This act, of course, undermines the criminal justice system in this country. This drug cartel, which includes a group in Gauteng that's operating in Gauteng as their headquarters, are importing these drugs from abroad, South America in the main, through this port of Durban, amongst others, to Gauteng, and they process them in Gauteng, and from there they distribute this drug all over in the country as well as other countries. In that investigation the team were doing in Gauteng under the leadership of Jaru Khumalo, who's now arrested, uncovered a lot of things. It led to the arrest of one of the drug lords and the search of the other one, and eventually the arrest of the second one. That the arrest of the second one, and when they took his phone and they downloaded his phone and they found all his communication.
The former provincial commissioner of Gauteng, Lieutenant General Elias Mawela, because I know that when Ndanda talking about the drug cartels in Gauteng, Lieutenant General Mawela is the one supplying the drugs in Gauteng.
So you've got proof of the drug allegation you just made, because I mean that's a very
serious allegation,
serious and dangerous statement to make.
To label somebody Yes.
a drug dealer on
No, the drug supplier, not
a
dealer.
drug supplier? What's the difference?
When you supply, you receive something from somewhere, okay, and then you distribute in your area.
So is that the dealer or the supplier?
And the dealer, no, this one is a supplier.
So you're accusing him of that?
He's a supplier. Yes. I'm not accusing him of that. I know him is doing that. Why can't you arrest the minister? Because you are the national commissioner. You've got the powers to arrest the minister. Because what he's doing is illegal. It's unlawful. You see? And then General Sitole said, no, I understand you. I hear it. But now, I cannot even try to arrest this man. Because he's a right-hand man of the president, Ramaphosa. Yeah. Now he's a big guy, this minister.
The minister's big guy.
Yes.
Okay.
You see?
And the national commissioner is?
General Sitole.
General Sitole.
Yes.
Okay.
You see? Then, Cartel Sitole was fired.
I kid you not. To achieve success in South Africa as a black African migrant is 10 times more difficult than achieving success in your own country. Anywhere in Europe, America, and Canada. The level of profiling by black South Africans to other black Africans is insane and unimaginable. Government agencies, even banks, are consistently looking for ways to shut black African migrants out of the system. Honestly, getting documented in South Africa as a black African migrant is like passing through the eye of an elephant. Therefore, leaving black African migrants vulnerable to law enforcement agents who take advantage to highly extort them. The level of corruption within that system is heartbreaking. Honestly speaking, as a black person, the chances of getting employment in South Africa is 99.9%. Even when you struggle to start your own business, the continued existence of your business is dependent on your own community and other African communities within and outside of South Africa. As a creative, it is even worse. No matter how excellent you are, or no matter how great your idea is, you can never get funding from government agents or even corporate organizations. That shows the level of hate and unacceptance. If you doubt me, show me any black African migrant creative that in the last 15 years have made it to the African or global stage. There's absolutely none. It shows the level of segregation against black African migrants in South Africa. For me, honestly, the shout of unity, social cohesion, and the celebration of African Day by government officials, corporate organizations, and ambassadors serving in other African countries are mere rhetorics and for camera glitz and glamour. Now, I once attended a discussion around xenophobic attack against black African migrants and the hate in South Africa. And I shared my thoughts. Please listen to what I had to say. In Africa, there are 5 countries with very high population of migrants. Why is the issue of South Africa so much? Because the government of South Africa is failing its people. We have to be very honest about that. People talk about crime. There are agencies involved in crime. It's like South Africans are shifting all the blames, the failures of the government on foreigners, which is not supposed to be. But beyond that, going forward, as people and as people that are legally or people that want to respect the law, what can we learn from South Africans, and what can South Africans learn from us in terms of lifestyle, in terms of business, in terms of empowering ourselves? I think that is the conversation we need to work towards, right? Rather than blaming ourselves and pointing figures on each other. We need to move forward. Thank you. But in all of this, I honestly need to give kudos to those South Africans who are standing up against their fellow South Africans and who are speaking truth to government and who believe Africa is one and agitating for one and a united Africa. But amidst all this, one South African politician stands out. I give kudos to the CIC, Commander-in-Chief of the Economic Freedom Fighters, Honorable Julius Malema. Everything he has said in the past are coming to be. Julius Malema is one South African politician that stands tall, that speaks the truth, that stands for African migrants, that believes in the unity of Africa. He doesn't just speak it, he acts it. But my question to you watching is, do you believe in one Africa? Do you believe in a united Africa? And do you believe in a borderless Africa? And for those watching in South Africa, honestly speaking, have Black African migrants contributed more to the South African economy? Or perhaps you think they have contributed more in its destruction? I want to hear your views in the comment section. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and follow. I'll see you on my next video.